Welcome everybody back to our secondary channel, and guys, we have quite a few things to go over today. Now, the thumbnail is not misleading. We will get to the Unicron bit, I promise you.
Perhaps I misjudged you.
But we are going to look at that. We're going to look at some terrible Predacons that sort of tie into that. And then on top of that, we're going to be looking here at a few things that kind of came to me. You know, this is what this channel is about.
Your bargaining posture is highly dubious, but very well.
Now, if you're looking at Armada Jetfire and you're kind of wondering, well, why did you pull him out of the display? Well, because apparently, for a lot of people, they don't know that Armada Jetfire, in a lot of aspects, is actually meant to homage Galaxy Shuttle from Victory. And Aaron Archer, the guy that designed this, pretty much said so. And you can see it not only in shuttle mode, but especially when you go to robot mode and you start looking at like his chest and like the little bit of the deals on his head that flare off. And yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, wow, I never knew that. And the point of bringing him out today is if I can't find a appropriate Galaxy Shuttle for a decent price and I want to have like a Victory display, you know, I might just put Jetfire in there because he apparently was designed from such influences. So I think it would work out just fine. So as you can see in this picture, one of the other things I wanted to look at was showing you how our boy Impactor looks. And you can see that where his right hand was, he's rocking his UK Comics right hand hook accessory, but over there on his left hand, he's rocking his IDW drill hand. You know what? He kind of looks like somebody else that we got some other accessories for. That being Inferno. And as you can see here, they're going drill to drill, and you know, I like how it looks because I'm just that sort of a person. Now, with these drills, you can see that he does come with two drills, and when he does that, he kind of looks like somebody else. Yeah, his Transmetal Scavenger version. However, that was just part of the kit that came because if you remember during the top 10 list of last year, I said that he was going to get his blaster. Now, since this could stay in his propeller butt, the one thing about this is I don't know whether this was intentional or not, but there's a scene in Beast Wars where he actually gets ready to do a shootout with the newly revived Transmetal Optimus Primal, and he holsters his gun. Now, you can see that it's got this peg over here, and even though technically it should peg in right here to recreate that, you can actually go ahead and plug it into his leg enough to where it looks close enough to where his hand could reach it if he was going to draw. So again, I don't know if that was unintentional and it just happens to work out or not, but I like it either way. Now, I did say that we would actually get back to some terrible Predacons, and I really think that terrible is subjective. This first one, I kind of disagree because look at this. It's a giant mosquito, and if you want to see how giant this boy is, okay, here is Bumblebee. Look at how massive Transquito is. I mean, look at that. Look at some of the detailing on this guy. And yes, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. He's suffering from GPS, I should say. And that may be a little bit of the hang up that people have with this. Now, what a lot of people don't know about Transquito is a Beast Wars triple changer. So if you're like, well, if he's a triple changer, what does he change into? Well, he just transforms into a massive scarab. I mean, oh man, look at that. That is crazy. Like the mandibles on this thing. And okay, you want to know how big this boy is? Okay, let's go ahead and let's pull Inferno back in here. Inferno can fit within this boy's mandibles. And look at that. Look at that. He could literally enclose all of a modern Voyager class figure. That is crazy. And then on top of that, he has a missile launcher located on his rear end. You gotta love how crazy the 90s went, man. And what baffles me is the fact that this guy is actually rocking Waspinator's robot mode design. And when you look at it, you start to really see it because on his forearms, he's got the insect legs hanging off. He's got the action combat boots that are of the same shape. He's also got the wings on his back. He's got the beast mode head as his chest. Especially what they've done is they've reinterpreted the Stinger from beast mode to actually be him spitting acid. So this boy's missile launcher, when you go ahead and fire it, I mean, he's got a kicking launcher in his head. This guy, I think he gets an unfair rep, and like we discussed earlier, this is a Beast Wars triple changer. So, nothing but love for Transquito. It's unfortunate he got the short end of the stick during his original release. Now this boy, as opposed to Transquito, there is what I feel is a little bit of legitimate dislike, and that's maybe putting it mildly. Now in this beast mode, this is not what a roly-poly looks like. And you can see he's already trying to do what a roly-poly does. Now, it's because of that and the Unicronian connection that I got this guy. However you want a little Unicron action, you can just poof, like he's eating a planet. And maybe he has a third mandible now. So you can imagine if this boy had a sick repaint job with maybe some add-on kits, he would be rocking the look of his potentially true master. Just saying. However, this boy is not the figure that you came here to see. I said we would get back to what that thumbnail was about. And I intend to follow through on that.
Excellent.
Now, we have looked at this boy before a couple times. And, you know, it never really dawned on me until one day I was looking at his aesthetics. And I'm like, was this meant to homage the Chaos Bringer? And some of these details I know is maybe kind of pushing it a little bit, but just bear with me. Because we know that Unicron is a very jacked robot. And look at this guy, even though it's not styled the same as Unicron, Inferno is kind of rocking a pseudo-jacked look for his core. But you know how Unicron's feet have like that one pointy feature on them? You can see that his feet are very similar with like the cascading down pointed toe thing like Unicron. The other thing is look at his legs. Look at his legs. Unicron has those very skeletal wings, right? You can position his legs in a way to homage those skeletal wings. The other thing that messes with my head is the fact that look at his transmetal bits. They're that orangey color that in some scenes, Unicron is more orange and it seems to be like this sort of orange. Now, the interesting thing about this feature is obviously the head. Scavenger's head just seems to scream that Unicron design with those antler horns that he's got going on, and especially like the side bits on his head. Now, my theory is, did they want to take this figure and maybe originally recolor him like this, but they thought maybe that was a little bit too much on the nose, and so they just released him as his standard release instead? I don't think so. Despite that though, those are 5 interesting aesthetic choices that do still align with Unicron, and if it was just a major coincidence, that's kind of amazing. And that was basically our look at those figures for today, guys. Now, as you can see, Nest Bone Crusher here is on the table. If you guys want me to do a full-on review of him, I will. I've kind of had him in the box for last week because I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to keep him. I like them like weird one-offs. I mean, look at the video we just did. However, if you guys are here from the main channel for the first time, I wanted to say this is kind of the vibe that we got going on here. And if you're a returning viewer to this channel, well, you guys already know that. So, I hope you guys did enjoy the video for today. Other than that, guys, we'll see you in another video next time.